For generations, America has whispered about monsters hiding in plain sight, not in fairy tales or ancient ruins, but in the forests behind our homes, the waters near our campsites, and the skies above our heads. They go by many names, and their stories span centuries. Are they myths born from fear, misidentified animals, or echoes of something ancient just waiting to be discovered? Today on No Chill Nature, we're taking a deeper dive into 5 of the USA's most chilling mythical creatures. Creatures that blend folklore with unsettling amounts of evidence. From glowing red eyes in West Virginia to lake monsters in New England. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Mothman, the Harbinger of Doom. November 12, 1966. 5 grave diggers near Clendenin, West Virginia, look up from their work. Something massive flies above the trees, silent, shadowy, with enormous wings. 3 days later, 2 young couples driving near an abandoned TNT factory in Point Pleasant encounter it again. A creature, man-sized with glowing red eyes and wings that unfold to nearly 10 feet. Thus begins the legend of the Mothman. Described as part bird, part man, with piercing eyes and an ability to fly straight up like a helicopter, Mothman was reportedly seen dozens of times over the next year, often near the old munition site. But then, tragedy. On December 15, 1967, the Silver Bridge, packed with holiday traffic, suddenly collapsed into the Ohio River. 46 people died. The Mothman sighting stopped. Coincidence? Or was the creature a harbinger, a warning? Some believe it was an omen. Others say it was never real, just panic and misidentification. The Sandhill Crane theory claims locals were seeing a bird with a 6-foot wingspan and red eyes caused by light reflection. But that doesn't explain the size, or the silence, or the fact that so many witnesses described the same thing, often with no connection to each other. In the decades since, Mothman has become a pop culture icon. There's even a statue in Point Pleasant, complete with rippling metal wings. But behind the kitsch lies something stranger. Why did sightings cluster before a disaster? And why have similar creatures, like the so-called Owlman in England, appeared around times of crisis? Is it myth, mass hysteria, or something we haven't yet named? Chapter 2. Chupacabra, the livestock vampire. Picture this. A rancher in rural Texas wakes up to find 3 goats dead. Each one has strange puncture wounds and no blood left in the body. No tracks, no signs of struggle, just silence. That's the calling card of the Chupacabra, the goat sucker. A creature said to be hairless, reptilian, with glowing eyes and a thirst for blood. The legend began in Puerto Rico in the 1990s, but quickly spread across Latin America and the southern United States. What makes the Chupacabra so chilling is the pattern. Animals found dead in the same way, blood drained, no flesh torn. Some eyewitnesses described a creature that walked on 2 legs with spikes on its back. Others saw something more canine. Then came the bodies. Several carcasses were found in Texas, grotesque, hairless, with elongated snouts. DNA tests revealed them to be coyotes and dogs suffering from mange. Mange causes extreme hair loss, thickened skin, and bizarre behavior due to illness. The result? A creature that looks completely alien. But here's where it gets weird. Many livestock killings blamed on chupacabras don't show signs of canine attack. No torn flesh, no messy feeding behavior, just clean blood drainage. And often the animals seem almost surgically punctured. Is it possible there's something more going on? Could 2 things be true? A myth growing out of real sick animals mixed with an unknown predator? Some researchers suggest birds of prey, like owls, can inflict similar wounds, but they usually leave feathers or drag marks. So why the clean scenes? Why no signs of predators? Why are some carcasses found beneath power lines or isolated areas? Maybe we're not just chasing monsters. Maybe we're chasing patterns we don't yet understand. Chapter 3. Thunderbird, the Sky, God's Beast. Before settlers came to America, the First Nations spoke of a beast that ruled the sky, the Thunderbird. In native legends, it was more than just a bird. It was a god. Its wings created thunderclaps. Its eyes flashed lightning. It could lift whales from the sea and punish the wicked with storms. Fast forward to the 1800s. Newspapers in the Midwest and Appalachia began reporting sightings of enormous birds, ones big enough to carry off deer. In 1890, two cowboys in Arizona claimed they shot and killed a flying creature with a 20-foot wingspan. Some versions of the tale say it looked more like a pterosaur than a bird. A photo was allegedly taken, but it's never been found. In 1977, in Lawndale, Illinois, a 10-year-old boy was nearly carried off by a giant bird, witnessed by his mother and several neighbors. The bird was described as dark, eagle-like, with a wingspan of at least 10 feet. Skeptics say these were just turkey vultures or misidentified condors. But the largest bird known in North America, the California condor, only has a wingspan of about 10 feet, and it's rarely seen outside the West Coast. Paleontologists remind us that 10,000 years ago, creatures like the Argentavis flew over North America. With a wingspan of 20 to 25 feet, it would have dwarfed any modern bird. Could isolated survivors exist? Or could genetic throwbacks, atavisms, explain freakishly large individuals? Or are we remembering something older, passed down in legends, buried in bones, and occasionally, just occasionally, seen soaring overhead? Chapter 4. Skinwalkers, Shapeshifters of the Desert. In the vast deserts of the American Southwest, you'll find warnings painted not on signs, but in silence. Ask the Navajo people about skinwalkers, and many will turn away. In Diné tradition, skinwalkers, or Yi Naldlushi, are witches who've turned against nature. They can transform into animals, walk among us undetected, and bring curses upon those who speak of them. They are not creatures. They are people, corrupted. Skinwalker Ranch in Utah has become a modern hotspot for the paranormal, with reports of UFOs, cattle mutilations, and shadowy creatures moving faster than humanly possible. Former government employees investigated it under the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Some scientists say it's all psychological, the power of suggestion in a spooky place. Others claim government experiments in electromagnetic fields could explain hallucinations. But there's more. In 1996, the Sherman family sold the ranch after 2 years of terror. Their accounts, published in the book Hunt for the Skinwalker, tell of animals vanishing into thin air, glowing eyes watching from treetops, and unkillable beasts. But here's what we must understand. For the Navajo, skinwalkers are not entertainment. They're a sacred warning, a lesson about power, balance, and the cost of betrayal. By turning myth into clickbait, we may be missing the deeper message. What happens when humans tamper too far with nature? Chapter 5. Champ, the Lake Champlain Monster. Lake Champlain is quiet, still, a 125-mile stretch of fresh water that runs between New York, Vermont, and Quebec. But beneath its surface, something stirs. Meet Champ, the USA's version of Nessie. Described as serpent-like with a humped back and horse-like head, Champ has been spotted for centuries. Indigenous Abenaki tribes told stories of a horned water serpent named Gitaskog. Early European settlers soon added their own sightings. The most famous came in 1977, when Sandra Mansi took a photo showing a creature rising from the water. The image is grainy but eerie. Experts have debated it for decades. No one has definitively debunked it. Sonar readings have picked up large, moving objects in the lake's depths. One scan in the 2000s revealed a creature-shaped object the size of a small bus. Divers later found nothing. The lake is deep, murky, and largely unexplored. Skeptics point to logs, boat wakes, or sturgeon. True, lake sturgeon can grow up to 7 feet long, and they're ancient-looking creatures. But they don't move like Champ, and they don't break the surface the way so many witnesses claim. Could there be an undiscovered animal in Lake Champlain? Something that evaded detection for centuries? Or are we just seeing what we want to see, a mystery that keeps us looking? Either way, Champ has become a symbol of possibility, a reminder that even in our mapped and measured world, there are still ripples we can't explain. Final thoughts. Science meets mystery. These 5 creatures blur the line between legend and reality. They live in the pages of folklore, the margins of science, and the shadows of our imagination. But here's the truth. Every myth starts somewhere, and in a country this vast, with forests that go for miles, lakes hundreds of feet deep, skies that stretch into the unknown, maybe, just maybe, the myths have room to breathe. Because in the end, the real question isn't whether these creatures exist, it's whether we're still willing to look for them. So, which of these creatures do you believe is still out there? Do you think Champ is real? Have you heard of Thunderbird sightings in your area? Or do skinwalker stories send chills down your spine? Let us know in the comments. And if you love unraveling legends, myths, and strange science, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who'd love a late-night cryptid deep dive. Until next time, stay curious and stay watching. This is No Chill Nature.